Hello and welcome back to Paranormal NL Podcast, located in Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. That was some bog team music there in the beginning for you, some bog rock. That's PNL Podcast for short, for Paranormal NL Podcast. And I'm your host and founder, Jen Nosworthy. Thank you for tuning in to UPRN, United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM in New Orleans and 105.3 out on that Gulf Coast. For tonight's special, I've got some Southern Fried Spirits Paranormal on UPRN segment number 42. And I've got a special guest waiting backstage from San Antonio, Texas, who I'll bring on shortly. But first, let's give some prayers to all the people involved in the Texas floods this year. And now it's time to grab your favorite cold one, a few munchies, and get ready for that show tonight. Paranormal NL Podcast is sponsored by the Bog Team. It's a boots-on-the-ground Bog Team doing historical paranormal investigations in Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. PNL Podcast believes in supporting international paranormal networking and highlighting global paranormal people, places, and things. And you can follow PNL Podcast and the Bog Team on their link tree at Paranormal NL Podcast, and you can download any of their music on any music platform. Now let's bring on the stage Mr. Adam Ramos. Adam, welcome back. Now you were on UPRN before in segment number 5, and that was season 2, episode 146, and you were also on before I was on UPRN, PNL Podcast season 2, episode 95. And I think the first time you were on UPRN was with, I want to give a shout out to Jeannie Van Hoose and the Jefferson Hotel. And then the and then the first time you came on, you were with Carla Norris and Crazy-Katherine from SFSP.
Yes.
So after I said all that, I still want you to introduce yourself, tell people listening who you are and all about you.
Well, from the state of Texas, born and raised here.
Go Texas.
Got into the subject and world of ghosts and things of that sort when I was about 13. And as the years passed by and I got older, I got into like aliens and Bigfoot and other mysteries and other unexplained things. And I kind of feel like it's more a bigger list of things I do believe in than the list of things I don't believe in.
That's right. I mean, when people think about the paranormal, some people just think, oh, it's all just ghosts and woo-woo. No, like you said, there's cryptid creatures, there's Bigfoot, there's UFO, there's metaphysical, there's esoteric, there's conspiracy theory stuff, all kinds of stuff. But now you're with a team in Texas. Do you want to tell me about them?
Oh man, what can I say about this beautiful team that I'm on? Like, I like to think that we're a quiet, small little team that is just there because I mean, we do record video. We do a few of us do go live like on a TikTok or something like that. But for the most part, we don't put a lot of our stuff online just because. I mean, it's not that we're not against it. We just don't. Right. Maybe one day we will, but I kind of feel like we're just like, right? Because we do investigating as a hobby. We're not, nothing against people that are looking to make it big or things of that sort. So it's like, we find a place, investigate it, go home. Move on to the next one.
The picture I've got pulled up of your team here. Who do we have here?
So right there in front, it's Catherine.
Okay.
Also known as Crazy-Katherine. she you'll notice that it's her in front most of the time because she is phenomenal at taking photos. So and then right there next to me on my left, that's Tony.
Okay.
And right there to my right above me, that's Jackie. And right above me, it's Terry.
And
then to the other side, it's Carla.
And Carla. So I had Carla and Catherine on the show before. So where are you at here in this picture? Do you remember?
That looks to be that we're at one of my favorite places to investigate, the Jefferson Hotel.
Oh, the Jefferson. Yes,
Yes.
that place is. Yes, you had a lot of stories to tell us about that, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did you want to lead with any of them? There's another one of you at the Jefferson, I believe.
Yes. That one of my favorite places. Well, actually, it's my favorite room to stay in, and that's the doll room.
Everybody gets creeped out by dolls. I recently had got to give a shout out to Jamie Mose from the Para Hunters. I recently recorded with her. You're going to see that come out soon about haunted dolls. Now, what did you feel when you slept in this room? Did you get any weirdness from any of the dolls?
I mean, other than that one doll being moved by something, I did not feel nothing. Maybe something happened. Maybe when I was asleep, and I just didn't hear it or notice it. But like I said, other than that one doll being moved by itself, nothing else happened that I noticed.
So, which one of the dolls moved? Are they in the picture, or is it another picture?
It's in another picture. It's a doll that was moved in the bathroom.
Oh, it was in the bassinet kind of thing.
I'm sorry.
It was in the bassinet. Yeah, it was it. And it
Yes.
moved.
Because like in the room, there's all the dolls, but in the bathroom, they have three.
The bathroom.
The
Yes.
bathroom,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And in the in the bathroom, they have like 4, maybe 5 dolls placed here and there, and the one doll that was in the towel rack was moved by itself.
Now here's another shot of the outside, right? Going in.
Yes, that's correct. That's the front of the Jefferson.
Did you ever get anything outside? Like there's a lot of old stuff, like even on the outside here.
I haven't, but I mean, I know a lot of times we were, going someplace or coming back, or we did hang out. It was because right across the street from the Jefferson, there is a lady. Her name is Jody Brackenridge, and I do believe it's every single night, if not many nights during the week. She will host a ghost walk going around Jefferson.
Okay.
And so, some of the times that we hang out in the front is when we're waiting with everybody else. And because, like I said, we've gone on that ghost walk like 4, maybe 5 times already.
So you've heard all the stories at that place. Do you think that the ghosts get bored listening to the same old stories over and over again?
I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe one of them be like, I did not do that. So thank you for saying I did that,
Because I find like when we talked about this before with another person, like when you get off topic to all the the script or whatever they give you, they seem to enjoy that more, and they want to talk more about you or talk about funny stuff, or even will just comment on stuff happening as it's happening.
Right. And I do that sometimes. Like I'll be in an investigation and I'll start talking about work, or I'll start talking about maybe the last movie I saw. Just something off topic, away from the location, just something random.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, we were out going around today and we had some really intelligent ones, saying some stuff like, how would they know that? Like, so, and it's just rando stuff, but it's commenting on what's happening around you as it's happening, which I think is really cool. Have you ever had anything happen that just totally blew your mind, that it was just so intelligent?
I mean, I will say the doll being moved there at Jefferson, the doll room was like my biggest thing to date that's ever happened to me. Just because there's no rational explanation for it.
Right.
it something intelligent moved it, pulled it. It didn't just like lean over. It didn't like just fall over. Like the water didn't cause the wall to shake. It you know something intelligent moved that dog, pulled it from the towel rack.
We get a lot of spirits saying that I can make cold spots, or I move stuff, or but I don't think they like to do it on command. They like to do it when you're not looking. And then you think to yourself, did that happen? Or maybe I moved it, or like you said, maybe the wind blew it, or it fell over. And then of course you want to debunk it, right? So you're going around trying to figure out everything else, and then it starts laughing at you, and you're like, come on, like, it's laughing at me, right?
Mhm.
It's interesting when it's so intelligent, it does stuff like that, just to mess with you, to have fun, right? And
Exactly.
like a lot of the spirits are kids. Do you come across many child spirits?
Well, as a matter of fact, there at the Jefferson Hotel, like there's been reports of like people being in their rooms, and in the evening or overnight, they hear sounds like a group of kids running back and forth in the hallway, or kids being mischievous when they try to like open a door, like mention the doorknob, and it's like and people get up and they look out the door and they don't see no kids running, they don't see no kids there, nothing like that.
Yeah, that can be pretty spooky. I know one time it was telling us, oh, you have children around you, and then somebody pulled out the SLS, and sure enough, we had a kid sitting on our hip. So it was interesting that you can actually use the SLS to see it, right? Like, because some people can sense it, but or they'll say, oh, I'm touching your hand, or I'm touching your back, but a lot of people, they don't feel that, right? But later, then they'll see something like your hand has a bruise on it, or something weird like that. Have you ever had any physical stuff?
Unfortunately, but I guess at the same time, fortunately, I haven't.
Thank goodness, right? Because nobody wants that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My I will say, if I could tell a short story.
Sure.
A friend of mine, she stayed in a room before where she had a dream of a man like grabbing her by the arm. And, it was a bad dream. She was saying she woke up, she went downstairs, and then I think later on that morning, one of her teammates noticed a bruise on her arm,
Okay.
right? Where like the man in her dreams was grabbing onto her.
Yeah,
And she was blown away with that.
that's scary when stuff like that happens, isn't it? Because you wonder, like, okay, I'm sleeping in a place that they say is haunted. Like, when I'm sleeping, am I opening myself up to more weirdness? Like, how vulnerable am I? Like, can it do stuff like that? Like you just said, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that can be kind of spooky. Do you have any locations that's your favorite besides the Jefferson? There's
It's
some cars, folks, if you're wondering what's going on in the background. It's a bit of traffic on the go because, it's everybody's getting home for supper, right?
Of course, gotta eat that dinner.
Got to have that
Um,
Southern Fried Supper.
I will say, and maybe just because I am going back there a third time next weekend, but I will say Myrtle's Plantation.
Okay. That's not the one I had pulled up, was it?
No, the last picture that was from another location.
Okay, yeah. Myrtle's Plantation. And what do you like about that place?
How beautiful it was, how peaceful it was. I will say one thing: the seeing it on TV, and I don't know, maybe just in my mind I saw it differently, but they show like the front of the house, the side of it, different shots of the inside, and for some reason I always thought like it was on a field in the middle of nowhere, but like it's the plantation, the house, the driveway. The driveway leads to like a road, And
Oh,
it's not like a crazy busy road, but it's like enough traffic to where you get like if you cross it, you got to watch where you're going.
right.
And then there's like small businesses on the other side of that street.
Okay. Did you have any experiences at that house?
Just one that I can say that was like a head turner. I was going down the staircase, and halfway down the staircase, there was like if somebody were like jogging somewhere.
Oh, okay. You can hear
I
it.
like at the top of the stairs. I couldn't tell if they were like running like towards the staircase, away from the staircase, sideways. But I just heard like the
The feet.
footsteps, up there. And the thing that made it much, much better was the fact that most of everybody that was with was at the bottom of that staircase. And one of my friends, she heard it too.
Did she?
And we both locked on each other's eyes. And she asked me, because like I said, I was already halfway down the staircase and I heard it. And then we both looked at each other and she asked me, like, did you hear that? I shook my head. Yes. Like, yes, I did, you know?
Yeah, it's always cool when somebody else can back you up and say, "Yep, I heard that."
Right. Just a random time, a random
Do you think it was more like a
situation.
residual one, or somebody just actually walking around, hanging out with you?
Maybe I couldn't tell you that. Maybe it was intelligent spirit or residual. But it was just like really, really fascinating that somebody else had heard it too. So I think that's my favorite part.
Yeah, that's always fun, right? When somebody else picks up on what you're honing in on, right?
Yes, yes.
What other stuff happened to you when you were a kid? Anything that really, you said you're around 13, that's when you got into it. What exactly sparked it?
Sorry, a loud truck had passed by.
Oh, I
Um,
know, so much traffic. Everybody getting home for that Southern Fried spiritual dinner there.
well, the thing that kicked it off for me when I was 13 was, you know, me laying in bed watching TV and something sitting on the bed, someone sitting on the
Oh, I
bed,
hate that sensation, Adam. When something sits on there and you look and it's like nothing there, but you
nothing
can
there.
feel the bed go down and you can see like the imprint of a butt or something. Oh, yeah.
And yeah, because like I said, I was laying in bed. It was a twin bed size,
Right? Yeah.
laying in bed on my stomach, looking up at the TV, and I was towards the one end of the bed, looking at the TV, the dresser, the TV, the bed, and then like my legs were bent, but the pressure on the bed was to where I could feel it on the other side, and it made me like turn around, and of course nobody's there.
Nothing. And how long did it sit there? Very long?
I didn't notice. It must have stayed there. But we're thinking about it now. This moment, it must have stayed there maybe till after I got up because I didn't feel the bed like come back up. I just felt like the bed like I guess somebody sat down.
Did you ever investigate your own house?
I didn't think about it to do it then.
Because
I think
some people don't like doing that, right? But did you talk to anybody else in your house about the paranormal, or is that like a taboo topic in your house?
oh no my mom believes in it to a certain point. Well, not to like a certain point, but she believes in it only because like I got her into it.
Okay.
One of my sisters, like my other sisters, because I have three sisters. The two, like they're happy for me that I do this stuff. They encourage me to do what I love to do.
Right.
But the one sister, like she's into it, maybe not as much as me, but like more than half. And I've brought her along on a few investigations.
Oh, did she have fun, or did she capture or experience anything?
No, she just has a little fun, come on out, hang out with me and, some of my teammates, my friends, and meet
Right.
everybody.
Fun. What was like one of the scariest things that happened to you?
That would be, well, let me just say I've gone to Jefferson, the town of Jefferson Hotel, like 7 times already. And inside the Jefferson, we were up in the attic, and that feeling of the air above you, the air around you.
Is this the attic? Is that it, or is that the basement? This is the Jefferson, right?
Yes, that's at the Jefferson.
That the attic?
No, that's actually in one of the rooms in the Jefferson. There's you open up the floor and it leads to that, and it's like a little. You go down, and then I think you go to the left, and it leads to like a door of a cabinet that's up against the wall on the first floor.
That's just weird. It's just a door and a cabinet.
It's supposed to be.
Maybe it was like a stash of money or something down there.
Well, that's the thing. Like the room that's in, it's supposed to be a speakeasy room.
Okay, yeah.
And it's supposed to be like keep it hidden. Don't let anybody know. Like this type of room, type of thing. So that's that's part of it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So tell me more about the attic. You said that was. Scary.
Oh yes, and it. Like I said, I've heard about this on TV shows and things of that sort, where people talk about like the air around them, the atmosphere above them just feels so heavy and negative. And that was my first time experiencing that, and I would understand like it was just me and somebody else, but for all 6, 7, 8 of us to feel that for that amount of time, that's, something happened.
So it was the whole night you felt like that there?
No, we were spent up there about maybe an hour and a half, and it seemed like we were getting responses from. We thought it was maybe a child.
Okay.
And everything seemed nice. Everything seemed fine. Like everybody was talking and asking questions, and we had like spirit boxes and other recording devices.
Right.
But it just seemed like the spirit box, like whoever was speaking through it, like they made it seem like, oh, I'm not allowed to speak no more. He's here. He will get mad at me.
We get that a lot. He's here. It's him. And then they're quiet, right?
That's exactly what happened.
He or him. They won't say the name, and then they get real quiet.
Correct.
Like the big shot in town is there, right?
Correct.
The big kahuna, El Jefe.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's when, like I said, that's when the atmosphere changed, the air pressure around us changed, and we were maybe in there like 15, 20 minutes before, like, hey, let's all get out of here and go down to the rooms and just chill out. And
you ever try some Spanish there?
I have a little bit. One or two locations. I've even tried German at a place here in Texas.
Yeah. What'd you get? Any response?
No, but the name Adam was said, and I just don't know if it was me or maybe someone named Adam there.
Okay. Well, that sometimes happens, right? Like if it happens to be your name and that spirit had that name, it draws up a lot of attention, right?
Mm-hmm. But I will say one thing, because, well, first of all, the place we're at, it was reported that a lot of German POWs from World War II were held there.
Oh.
So that's how we tried the German.
Okay.
And, my friend, he had the digital recorder, recording, played it back, and then, said, Adam.
Interesting.
That was one weekend. The following weekend, we were at another place, and we had the spirit box going, and then the same thing, or it said the name Adam. The
Did
very
that
next
freak you
weekend.
out when you heard your voice? Does that scare you, or what do you feel like when you hear your own voice being called out?
No, it was just my name, Adam.
Yeah, but you didn't get freaked out or anything by that, because that would freak some people out, right?
Yes, I believe so, but I'm like, like
No,
also
no,
like,
no,
oh, okay,
yeah, no, no, whatever.
yeah, well, it's just like the same thing with like staying in a dull room. Like I know, like even like fellow investigators have said, "How can you sleep in there? That's nuts. Don't sleep in there." Or that's creepy, or that's
Right.
or like you know,
You're like, hey, don't bother me, right?
yeah, I like I said, it's going back to when things happen when you're not looking. The doll that was in the tower rack, how we got yanked out of there by itself. Like I had my back to the wall to that area, so I didn't see it move on its own. And I've always thought to myself, what would happen if I saw that doll move like that, being yanked out from like that? I don't know. I probably would have been like, "Oh dang, that just happened." Well, let me finish my bath, you know, or something. I don't know. But I mean, I did finish my bath after that happened because I didn't know that's what that was at first.
Well, because some people are so used to it, they're like, yeah, whatever, leave me alone. I'm getting a bath, don't bother
Yeah,
me.
exactly,
Right?
And like I said, heard it. I turned around, I saw that thing leaning forward, the doll leaning forward. I'm like, oh, that's what that was. Let me finish my bath. Finished up and got dressed, and then I know like the next time I stay there, I had set up the camera, like, just facing like the I think it was like some of the door, like that towel rack area,
Okay.
and like not even like focused on the bathtub, but like in the video, like a few times, like I would like lean my head over outside of the bathtub, like, hey, I'm still here, trying to make some energy or trying to you know tempt the spirit to maybe move the doll again or something. But nothing ever happened again.
Yeah, sometimes it's just like total like rando stuff, right? Like we talked about before, maybe it's just residual energy or something. But you never know, right? Like you saw this doll. Anything exciting happen when you met this doll?
I honestly can say no, nothing. I mean, they did have a priest like right there to the left of that case, But I will say I did have my psychic medium friend Joe West on video call, and they had the prop doll that they use in the movies.
Right.
They had it just there on a rocking chair, and Joe West was saying how she was getting from the prop doll, like, oh, no one ever pays attention to me. I'm
Go
the one that's
away.
been in the movies, and
Oh, okay.
wish they would pay more attention to me. Stuff like that.
No, that's interesting.
Mhm.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
know,
because Jamie Mose, I'll give a shout out to her again. Was talking about she was talking about haunted dolls. It's just human spirits or different spirits that go in there just wanting attention, right? So if you're paying more attention to one doll, I can see that doll being jealous, right?
right?
Hey, what
Exactly,
about me, right?
exactly. I,
So,
I've met Jamie before. We met in Oklahoma.
yes, okay.
I believe it was last year, early last year. There was a Paracon over there, and met her and Layla.
Okay, yeah, I had
Their
Layla on
friends.
the show. Shout out to Layla.
Yes,
And yeah,
you
from
know.
the Warren Legacy and Para
Yeah.
Hunters. Yeah.
So yeah, I met them in Oklahoma, and then it was pretty cool because Lorinda from the team, she kept in contact with people who owned one of the places we kind of investigated there last year in Oklahoma, that Paracon, and like some of the team members, just us and the guy who owns it, we were investigating that Oklahoma theater, that old time theater.
Oh, I bet that was interesting.
It was. I mean, there was a few little bumps and thumps, but nothing, to raise
No
heck
shadow
about.
figures or anything like that.
Exactly, and maybe they were just not feeling the vibe that night. Maybe it's like, who are these people? Or, but we're looking to go
Sometimes
back.
they just kind of chill and hang back and watch you, right? And say like, who are you? What are you doing? Or sometimes they'll be like, what the heck is this equipment? How do I use it? And they'll actually say that. What is this? How do I use it? Right?
Exactly.
They'll be like, I'm from the 1300s. Like, what the heck is this? Or they'll actually say, if you got your camera filming, or turn off the camera. We had that the other day. Turn the camera off.
Oh, no way.
Did not want to talk, said, and then somebody said he doesn't like to talk. So what's your theory on this doll here and what happened to the poor guy who went around on tour with her? What are your thoughts? Everybody got their own thoughts.
I mean, heard so many different things about her. I can't really give a official opinion on it.
Yeah, I wonder who's going to adopt her now after Buddy's no longer with us.
Yeah, I mean,
do you think Zach will take her?
That's a good question. He seems to be obtaining a lot of those types of
because he's got another doll that the name begins with a P. They say you're not supposed to say their names, so I won't say their names. This doll here you're looking at begins with an A. So, yeah.
So, yeah. So, we'll see.
I grew up with a doll like that. To me, that's not scary, right? Because I grew up and played with something that looked like that, right? But like we said earlier, it could go into any kind of object, haunted objects. Have you ever had any experience with any haunted objects besides dolls? Or
I'm a big Batman fan, and I collect different things from Batman.
Okay.
And I went to this antique store here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Just looking around, seeing, all the cool stuff. And I bought this Batman toy. It's all metal, and it has the wind up knob.
Right.
It just does like the mechanical walking type of thing, And I set them on top of my shelf, a shelf I have by my kitchen. And maybe like a month after that, because we used to have the cat litter nearby the shelf,
Okay.
The bucket, the cat litter, the scoop, and the scoop went missing for like 2 months, just disappeared.
Huh.
And one day we found the scoop just sitting right there on the floor in the open.
That's so weird.
Like,
Adam, we had something really weird like that happen in the house, and my husband was like, "This is a load of shit." I said, "No." I said, "We were trying. Everybody's lost a remote, right? We tore the house up and down. We knew where it was. It was in the bedroom because we got like a spare bedroom with a TV, right? So we looked behind the chair, both chairs, moved all the furniture out, and then Adam. The very next morning, we walk in the room, and lo and behold, that remote is standing straight up like this on the floor, like straight up and down. And I said to my husband, "What the F?" He was like, "No way." He said, "You did that." I said, "I did not do that." And he said, "No, I blame." And he was like, "No." He said, "You did that." I said, "No, I did not do that." That was just so weird.
Holy cow. Holy cow.
Yeah.
It's...
And then, Spirit Box came in and said, "We move things." I was like, "Yeah, maybe you do."
I noticed.
Well, you mentioned, haunted antiques. Like when I used to love antiquing before I got into this paranormal stuff. But now, if somebody gives me something where I don't know where it's from, I'm like, uh, and then they tell me, oh, I got it at Joe Blow's yard sale. It was an estate sale. Like, yay, dead people things. Well,
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
oh my goodness.
stick it in some salt quick.
Oh man, that's funny stuff.
What do you think about like antiquing and just going around and picking up rando stuff? Like, what do you think? Because this place at the Jefferson that you talked about, there's stuff all over the walls, and
There is, and I feel like there's more stuff now than there was a year, 2 years, 3 years ago.
yeah,
But I'm the same way. Like you are. 5 years ago, I'd be like, oh, it's something old. Bring it along. It looks cool. But
yeah,
I am more careful about what I handle, what I pick up, what I touch. So
yeah. I've been like that too since I got into it because you just don't know, right, where it's been or who owned it. The person might be like, "Hey, that's mine. Give it back."
take it.
Well, let's switch gears and go into the cryptid stuff. Have you ever encountered any weird chupacabras or anything weird, Texas cryptid stuff?
Unfortunately, I have not. But I just from like hearing other reports of different people seeing it, reporting it, hearing it, seeing it, smelling it. It's like that is just as fascinating to me as haunted places, haunted buildings, ghosts, spirits, things that go bump in the night.
I could have swore when I was down there living in Texas one day, I was coming out and there was this great big giant field and I was off. I don't know, it was a night shift or something. And to me, it looked like a coy wolf because it had those spindly little legs, but a great big body. And then he just went off into the field like nothing. I was like, okay, that wasn't no dog. That wasn't no coyote because it was a lot bigger than a coyote.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just don't know, right?
Exactly. And
I gotta say, later on that week, this is such a weird week. There was a toad. I heard this banging on the door, right? It was bang, bang. I was like, what is that? So I opened the door. Here's this frog, like, jumping at the door, trying to get in because the garage was hot. So I guess he wanted to come in because it was so hot. And then I went outside, and no word of a lie, a bat flew down in my hair. I was like, what is going on this week? And then I saw that wolf thing. Like, what the heck? And this was before I even got into the paranormal stuff.
holy cow.
Have you ever had weird stuff like that with animals?
I know, like, a lot of people's. I mean, it's nothing weird. I mean, I consider this good, but a lot of people's pets will come up to me, like, if I've known them all their lives, their dogs or their cats,
Okay.
like a cute puppy, of course, come on, I'll pet you,
But animals
Sure.
know, though, if you're intuitive. Like, they know. That's probably why they're attracted to you, Anna. Like, look at Bigfoot looking at you with such loving eyes there.
Well, I'm glad he stayed up there, where he was, because that's up there in Jefferson, Texas. They have a like a small little civic center where they have events, and that was like outside across the street, and we saw it, and well, hey, let's go take some pictures, and so.
I'm sure a lot of people do some funny poses with him. We've got this moose here in Newfoundland, and everybody likes to go over and hold on to his huevos. People do some crazy stuff with the statues around here. So, do you ever get any like really weird stuff on your spirit box or anything that you're just like, what did it just say?
I'm not sure if this is. I was trying to read it, but I know one of them said something about investigators. I like
Well,
investigators or
yeah, so
something
we
like that.
like investigators. It
You
always
know,
tells us welcome back when we come to a place, you know? Oh, we know you. Welcome back.
yeah, because we I think that's when we were at that theater in Oklahoma, and it said that like we were on the second floor on the balcony, and it said, we like investigators or something like that, something about investigators.
Yeah.
Or like, oh,
Yeah.
well, that's nice.
Yeah, I like it when you get the benevolent ones, the real kind ones. But then again, sometimes they pretend they're kind, and then all of a sudden it'll say, "Be careful," or "Watch out for that person," and then it'll say "Maleficent" or something. And then we're like, "Yeah, no, we don't want to talk to any of that," right?
Right. We usually, we're like, something like that comes out. We're like, no, we're not about that, or no, we don't want that here. That's not welcome here.
Yeah, like go away, get out. So, what do you guys do in your team for protection and stuff like that?
We usually say a little prayer, holy water, sage, just different little sprays and little knickknack things like that. Because like one of our biggest things that we believe in is us, like we're respectful. I mean, just like everybody else, respectful and be nice and be courteous. And we feel like that helps us to stand our ground, I guess, against bad things. Like they, I hope we hope, in my mind, I like to think that they, maybe a bad spirit will see how good we are, and we're like, oh, well, I'm gonna stay away from those guys. Maybe, but
Or they'll start mocking stuff you got on, like cross, and it'll things like that. Do you ever have something mock you?
no, never. Not that I could say, like I said, I think like one of us will have like, oh, I thought I felt something tap my shoulder or something touch my hair, something like that. But for the most part, none of us has really been, pushed or kicked or
I always tell it like, hey, you don't have permission to touch me. Like, oh, I'm touching your hair or I'm touching your hand. It's like, no, no, yeah, you don't have permission, right? Because you don't know what it is, right? You could
exactly,
be
exactly,
pretending it's nice, but wanting to like climb into here or something. You just don't know.
exactly. So, but I was gonna say, I'm looking to go back. It's just a little far away. The location of the Eloise Asylum outside of Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
I went there, I think 2023, and I'm looking to go back. I did like that place a lot.
Why did you like that place so much? What happened there?
I mean, I think it was just like a fun place to investigate, and we were. There was a one big room where the team I was with. They had like their little command center station going, and off to the side of it, there was like a smaller room, and me and one of the investigators, we were in there, and for some reason, like me, like I kept getting like, it feels like there's something over here, and I would go over here, and we would take pictures, record audio, but then I'd be like, well, it feels like there's something over here. We would go with the same thing, pictures, audio, asking questions. It just seemed like whatever was there was like, no, I'm over here. No, I'm over here. Nope, I'm over here, guys. Like
It was
there
playing games with you, hey Adam?
was that.
It was playing games with you.
I I mean, I feel like maybe it was, and maybe it was too shy to like want to be confronted, so it would maybe dart over there or dart over there,
Okay.
But that's what I kept feeling like. If it was something over here, then over here, and then back there, and then you know,
Maybe it wasn't used to so much attention.
maybe, but like I said, I would like to go up there again. It's just kind of far away, but I had a good time investigating there.
So, are there any other places on your bucket list you haven't been yet?
Gettysburg,
Gettysburg, yeah, that's a good one.
and Northern Ireland.
Oh, Ireland. You'd love Newfoundland if you like Ireland. We're very Irish over here, and it looks just like Ireland.
I've always felt, and maybe this is the reason why I haven't gone to Ireland yet, but I've always felt like once I go there, I may not want to come back to
I
America.
was going to say you'll never want to come back, right?
And like I said, maybe it's a good thing I haven't gone yet. And yeah,
Yeah, I think you would love it over there for sure. I know a lot of people do whenever they go visit. Yeah, we got the same kind of music and food and culture. Yeah, and we're haunted AF here in Newfoundland. If you want to do some paranormal tourism, come to Newfoundland and Labrador. So where else in Texas would you recommend going for paranormal tourism?
Well, there's the 1899 Bolton House in Jacksonville, Texas.
Okay.
That was a great place because to me, that place was a quiet, nice place to investigate. We will be going back there in, I believe, October-ish, November.
Okay.
Later this year. Let's see. Man, I've been to so many places here in Texas. In Ballinger, Texas, there's the Old Port Hotel. I know currently they have new owners and they're renovating some of the areas around there. So they might not be.
Whenever anybody talks about renovations or does renovations, I noticed, it gets kicked up, right? All the
It certainly does.
Yep.
So, and I will say this picture here, that's me when I was at the jailhouse in Floresville, Texas.
Oh, Port Isabel?
Floresville.
Floresville. Okay.
Floresville, yeah. About 30 minutes southeast of San Antonio. And I've been there maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 times. And every single time, there is some kind of noise in the jailhouse, in the jail side where the cells are at. Some kind of noise. You hear some kind of noise on that side.
Yeah, so the spirits are active in the jails. Yeah, it seems like there's we got a few old jails here too, and they're pretty active. I guess, any kind of place with pain or agony, there seems to be pretty active, doesn't it? Kind of seeps into the cement and everything.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So what else do you want to talk about, Adam? What else about Texas and paranormal stuff? How about UFOs? We didn't talk about aliens.
I was just about to bring that up. I haven't seen, to my knowledge, I haven't seen no kind of aliens or alien spacecraft or anything like that.
No, when I was in Texas before SpaceX started, I could have swore I seen one of these Tic Tac things, but that's another story. But I mean, I think there was a lot of activity even before Elon was there.
Right, exactly. And like I said, that's my 3 biggest things. Ghosts, Bigfoot, monsters, and aliens. And like I said, I have much interest as the other 2 as aliens, and it's all so fascinating to me and interesting to me. The reports and the stories.
Did you watch that movie Cowboys and Aliens?
I did.
That's an old one, right?
It is, but I liked it for the simple fact that it was about aliens and cowboys. I have a huge interest in old westerns. I watch a lot of old westerns, so that was like a perfect little mismatch.
Spaghetti westerns are the best, aren't they?
Of course.
Few dollars more, fistful of dollars. Since we're talking about Texas, did you hear about I know y'all have the bats that's down by in Austin, down by the bridge, but apparently there was a huge amount, more than normal, that came out and around the same time that Ozzy passed. Did you hear about that?
I did not hear about that. The bats.
Yeah, there was more bats than usual that came out. That like they totally. Usually, I mean, they come out. There are a lot of them, but they completely blanketed like the sky around the area. People were amazed. They couldn't believe what was happening. I don't know if somebody idiot went down and spooked them all just because of Ozzy's death or whatever, and wanted the bats to fly everywhere. But it was weird.
Wow. Okay, that's news to me.
Yeah, because I know you're a fan of Batman, right?
Of course, I am. Yes, I am. So.
Well, you want to give a few shout outs to how people can find you and Southern Fried Spirits Paranormal?
Well, I mean, I mainly operate out of Facebook, and we I have my regular profile, just my personal one, and then the team has one, Southern Fried Spirits Paranormal. But like I said, we don't post a whole bunch of our stuff. I mean, we just have like some things on our page. But yeah, I'm always looking to investigate with new people. I'm always looking to investigate new places. Like I said, the furthest I've ever gone is outside of Detroit to Eloise Asylum. I'm hoping to go to Gettysburg next year. I have a few friends that I've met recently that I want to up in New Jersey that I want to go investigate up there at some point.
Now, I pulled up a link tree that does have the Facebook link for Southern Fried Spirits Paranormal from the Facebook, but also your team has a podcast, Unseen Realm podcast. So this is or their link tree, SFSP, the Unseen Realm. If you want to check that out, check it out.
Yes. Thank you.
Ah, you're welcome. I really appreciate you coming back on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was really good having you on again, Adam. And again, for all the folks listening in, follow Adam Ramos and also the Southern Fried Spirits Paranormal, located in Texas. And you got to check out Texas if you haven't been. Got to give a big shout out to Texas. My old friend, I miss Texas. Now, how about some bog team music? What do you want to listen to? We got rock, we got rap, we got metal, we even got some country here somewhere. What do you think?
Some metal.
What kind? Metal. Okay, how about some like 80s metal from the bog team? Here we go. We're going to peace out with some of that. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.